$4.99. Come stroll the gardens. The gardens during the Camellia Show Spectacular every day now through April. Bob Wines is on Southeast 38th Street away from all that traffic. And they're open daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, in the same Christmas blooming location since 1952.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 9 minutes before 12 o'clock. For those who don't know, we do broadcast from the mall. The ID that you just heard mentioned that.
Yeah.
And within, oh my gosh, just a few steps, there are 4 jewelry stores just inside the doors. Because we broadcast actually from outside the mall, but we're in the mall. It's kind of hard to explain. Anyway, so if you ever go in there, and I've been to all 4 of them, all 4 of those jewelry stores, right? And it's amazing what they know how to do, because I wouldn't have a clue. One time, I found a diamond ring on the railroad tracks. It turned out it wasn't a diamond ring.
No.
It turned out it was just a piece of junk. But I got excited. I thought I found something that might be worth something to somebody, maybe me. Dr. George Newman is on the phone. He's an associate professor of marketing and management at the Yale School of Management, and he's talking to us today about diamonds. How about that? Let's find out about this. Good morning, Dr. Newman. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Well, okay, what are we talking about? Diamonds and whether they're real or not?
Well, I've been interested in authenticity for a long time. I discuss it in the courses I teach at the Yale School of Management, and I've been studying authenticity as a researcher in surveys and in experiments for about the last 10 years or so.
Really?
So in this research, we wanted to understand authenticity and how it's related to gift giving. Like, for example, do people care about authenticity even when they're not spending their own money on something?
Okay, all right. And what is the answer to that question?
Well, I mean, what I found is that when it comes to receiving gifts, authenticity really matters a lot to people. So consumers appreciate authentic things more. They feel a lot more gratitude when they get something authentic, and they're disappointed by inauthentic things that even if other people can't tell that they're knockoffs or fake.
So so in the intro, I mentioned that I found the diamond ring, or a fake diamond ring, and I brought it to one of the jewelers here at the mall, and he had a machine, and in no time at all, he told me it was just glass. But how could, or like cubic zirconia or whatever they call it, right? So how would the average person know that? I guess you just have to trust your jeweler, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think there are lots of ways in which it may be possible to distinguish authentic from inauthentic things if you have the right kind of expertise. And it matters for how much those items are worth, but it also matters for what we find in our research for kind of the emotions behind it. So people feel a lot more joy and pleasure about authentic things than they do inauthentic things.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, sweaters come to mind. You could have a cashmere sweater, or you could have a synthetic sweater. And how do we tell the difference as the recipient of the gift?
Yeah, so one thing that we find in the survey is people care about the material of the item, like authentic cashmere sweater. That was one of the things that we asked about. Interestingly, we asked about, would people prefer to receive an inauthentic thing like synthetic cashmere, or would they just want something else entirely that costs the same amount, like a less expensive wool sweater? And what we found is that people actually said they want the real thing, like the wool sweater, instead of the inauthentic cashmere sweater.
And also artwork, too. There are a lot of fine art shows around our area this particular time of year. Sometimes people would prefer the original as to a print, but sometimes the original is so outrageous in price that you have to settle for a print.
Yeah, well, there's actually been some really interesting research from a team of neuroscientists that looked at just the pleasure that people get from authentic things. And one of the things they looked at was artwork. They had people look at authentic paintings and then forgeries. And so people, said that they had more pleasure looking at the authentic paintings. They said they were more beautiful, but then also there were regions in the brain that were responding to that difference between authentic versus inauthentic things. So it's not just something that people are saying, authenticity really that makes people feel different.
So that's good news for the local artist who puts out his own or her own paintings. It's going to be authentic. It's maybe not worth a whole lot right now because for whatever reason, art doesn't become valuable until the person dies. but it's authentic, right? Authentic matters.
Authentic matters, yeah. Authenticity matters, even if the person isn't well known, or even if it's not a name brand product like a North Face jacket or an Apple Watch. Authenticity matters in terms of the history behind something.
Got it, right.
Whether it was made by an artisan or handmade, or if it's made from something special.
And that also goes back to the diamonds then, because a lot of them come from laboratories and they're not genuine.
Right, yeah. So one of the things that people really seem to value is that, that natural diamonds have this unique history that, they've come from the earth rather than being produced in a laboratory. And so consumers say that the natural diamonds, they bring them more joy. They'd feel a lot more appreciative to get a natural diamond. And then actually that they would be 50% more likely to be disappointed if they got a lab-grown diamond versus a natural diamond.
So is there like a rule of thumb that we can go by so that we know we're getting something authentic?
Well, in terms of, figuring out if something's authentic, you have to go, it matters the retailer and the source that you're getting it from, and, making sure that, if it's a one-of-a-kind object, that it has the right kind of paperwork that's associated with it. But, I think the larger message around the holiday season and gift giving is that, to not get caught up in the flashiest promotion or the trendiest products. And really the things that we find that mean the most to people in terms of gifts are things that are special and unique and distinctive, and authentic things can be something that really tick all of those boxes.
Okay, well, that's an interesting message. We had a guy on the last week, and he was selling, believe it or not, pieces of wood that made up the stage at Woodstock, and he had a certificate of authenticity, and I thought, wow, that actually sounds like a cool thing to own. If you remember the Woodstock,
yeah.
I'm looking at your picture. You look too young, but it's one of those things that I guess would mean something to somebody, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we all have a different domain or era or type of thing that really excites us, and it takes on a lot of meaning, And so authenticity, getting something that's authentic, that has this special history that's connected to something important like Woodstock or our favorite band, that can be a real source of value that's hard to duplicate anywhere else.
I love the message. Dr. George Newman, thank you for being on the show with us today.
Thanks very much for having me.
That was awesome. Now I'm going to look for something authentic.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz tells the Senate Judiciary Committee about the FBI operation to investigate the Trump campaign.
We found that Crossfire Hurricane was open for an authorized investigative purpose and with sufficient factual predication.
But he says so many basic and fundamental errors made during the process are a failure of the FBI's entire chain of command. A Jewish market in Jersey City, New Jersey may not have been the random